B of Matt Bonine to the outside, the 02 junior of Chris Mills. Your third and final row in heat race number 1 is going to be the 77 of RJ Merchant to the inside and the M80 of Jim Matheson to the outside. 6 cars, 8 laps of distance, heat race number 1 of your Rick's Customs IMCA Modifieds. Off turn number 4 they go, where green flag racing. Cole's going to lead us 3 wide down into turn number 1. Here comes Bonine to the inside of Jimmy Cole. Cole slides it up in front of Jim Tees. Jim Tees crosses it over, slicing and dicing through the field. Bonine's going to be a race leader early on, but here comes the mad dash for the second spot. Far wide down the front straightaway. Merchant diving down to the low side, has to think better of it, gets the nose clipped off through turns 1 and 2. Still to the inside of Chris Mills is RJ Merchant. We're 3 wide into turn number 3. Merchant thinks better of it, backs it down, saves it for another run, and down the battle for the second spot between Cole and Mills. Your leader down back straight away into turn number 3 is going to be the 14B of Matt Bonine. Sad news this week as Max Bonine passed away about Wednesday, I believe. Got the news. So a little somber note there, but leading his way down the back straightaway is the 14B of Matt Bonine, with Max Bonine looking overhead, liking what he sees. Down the front straightaway, your race leader still the 14B of Matt Bonine. 4 laps remaining this time. Chris Mills going to try and drive his way up from the second spot to challenge for that race lead of Matt Bonine. Third is Jimmy Cole in the 55. RJ Merchant has a challenger to his inside. Jim Tees looking for that 4th spot. Had to slide back a little bit as Merchant hits the high side once again. We're almost side by side deeper in the field. Jim Tees to the inside of RJ Merchant. Down the front straight of the go. Momentum on Merchant's side as he holds the spot, but we're 2 laps to go, with the 14B of Matt Bonine holding on to the race lead. Into turn number 3 and 4 they go. Mills going to hit the high side, try to get the drive down off floor. Bonine able to drive it off the low side and hold the race lead. Turns 1 and 2 they go. Mills on the low side, trying to drive it up. Backstretch they go one final time through turns 3 and 4. Off of 4 this time, it's going to be Matt Bonine to the checkered flag. Second goes to Chris Mills, and it's third to Jimmy Cole. RJ Merchant, the 23 of Jim Tees, and Jim Matheson rounding out your field. To the outside is going to be the 48 of Bob Moore. Inside row number 2, the 45D of Dylan Ricks. And to the outside, the 25 of Ricky the Racer Stefan. Shotgun on the field. Your 5th starter is going to be the 1X of Chris Abelson. I only see 4 cars out there for the time being. Dylan Ricks not making the call. It's a 4-pack shootout for 8 laps. Dylan Ricks not making the call for the heat race. Hopefully he makes it out for the feature here later on, as from the back of the pack, driving to the front with no issues at all off of turn number 4. The 1X of Chris Abelson takes us to the lead. Battle raging on for the 3rd spot as Justin Holt's going to hit the high side, trying to chase back down Ricky Stefan as he slips the grip on the high side of turn number 2, slides back to the 4th spot. Single file they go as Bob Moore's going to try and drive his way back up to the back bumper of the 1X of Chris Abelson. Through turns 1 and 2 they go. Chris Abelson, your race leader. Ricky Stefan looking on the back bumper of the 48 of Bob Moore. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Moore's going to switch his line, drive it down low, slide it up high. Down the front straightaway, Ricky the Racer Stefan's going to look to the inside of the 48 of Bob Moore. Race is on for the 2nd spot. We're almost side by side, but looks like the 25 of Stefan's going to have to slide up behind Bob Moore and drive it down the front straightaway, looking for another charge on the 48 of Moore. Chris Abelson walking away with this one through turns 3 and 4 they go. Coming to 3 laps to go for the 1X of Abelson. Bob Moore, your number 48, is in the 2nd spot, followed by the 25 of Rick of the Racer Stefan. Your 4th and final car on the field right now is the 22 of Justin Volz. laps to go for the 1X of Chris Abelson. Abelson leading with no issues. The 48 of Bob Moore holding on to the second spot for the time being. Ricky the Racer Stefan trying to mount a charge on the low side. Down the back straightaway, Bob Moore able to drive away. Off of 4, seeing the white flag fly. It's going to be the 1X of Chris Abelson. Abelson, your race leader in turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway they go. Cruise control set for the longtime racer Chris Abelson. Off of turn number 4, sees the checkered flag fly. He takes heat race number 2. Second going to go to Bob Moore in the 48. Third to Ricky the Racer Stefan, rounding out the top 4, the 22 of Justin Volz. Your Rick's Custom Incorporated IMCA Modifieds out onto the racing surface. On the pole is going to be Sioux City, Iowa's Jimmy Cole in the 55. And to the outside out of Hartford, South Dakota, Justin Volz. The Mapleton Farmer, Jim Teese out of Mapleton, Iowa, in the inside of row number 2. And to the outside, Sioux City's Bob Moore. Ottawa, Iowa's Matt Bonine in the 14B in the inside of row number 2. To the outside is going to be Chris Mills. Ricky Stefan inside row number 4. RJ Merchant to his outside. Then it's Abelson, Matheson, and Dylan Ricks. Your field as we go through turns 3 and 4. This time, Jimmy Cole leads us to the green flag. Look at the drive by Bob Moore as he came flying down to the inside. He's going to challenge for the race lead as up the track goes Jimmy Cole in the 55. Tees down to the inside looking for the race for second. Justin Volz, Chris Mills, 14B of Matt Bonine. It's going to be a 4-car dance for third. Jimmy Cole holding on to the second spot. Now he's going to race for the lead. Jimmy Cole looking to the inside of Bob Moore. Bob Moore holding him off for the time being. It's down the back straightaway they go. Leaders are on their own for the time being as it's a 3-car dance for third. Chris Mills up on the high side, Tees in the middle. And then it's going to be Matt Bonine on the low side, driving and catfishing down low. Chris Mills diamonds it off the corner, drives around Matt Bonine around the outside. Deep in the field. Justin Volz trying to hold off Ricky Stefan and RJ Merchant as they battle it out. Race up front is going to rage hot and heavy once again, is looking for the lead. It's going to be Jimmy Cole. Matt Bonine now looking to the inside of Chris Mills for that third spot. Matt Bonine's got a good drive as Chris Mills bangs it off the cushion in turns 3 and 4, drives it down low, and is looking for second. Jimmy Cole through turns 1 and 2. He's got company with Chris Mills in the 0-2. Chris is to the inside of Jimmy Cole as they go through turns 3 and 4. Hitting the high side. Here comes Jimmy Cole, ripping the lip around the outside. Jimmy Cole coming to call. Through turns 1 and 2 they go. Chris Mills has to hit the binders for a moment as Jimmy Cole wipes his nose down the back straightaway. For turn 3, round the outside, Jimmy Cole, 3-car dance for the lead. Contact down the front straightaway. Into turn 1 they go. Chris Mills driving it down deep into the corner. Jimmy Cole on the high side. Bob Moore holding him off for the time being. Bob Moore's got to work all he can to hold back these hard chargers of racing. Another lap goes in the books and Jimmy Cole's going to do a slide job and a crossover move. We got sliders for the lead. Down the back straightaway to turn number 3. Bob Moore holds him up on the high side. Cole had to slap the brakes just a little bit. Now he's going to drive it down. Direct race down the front straightaway. 12 laps remaining in this one. 3 cars now making a 4-car dance for the lead as Jimmy Cole hits the high side. Bob Moore's going to look down low. Bob Moore looking to the inside, trying to get back around Jimmy Cole. Jimmy Cole hitting the high side and says, goodbye. Let's get out of here with this race lead. Chris Mills hitting the high side, looking to try and find what Jimmy Cole has done now. A 4-car dance for that second spot. Oh, we had a little bit of contact with Matt Bonine and Chris Abelson. Cross flags halfway home in this one. Chris Mills in the second spot. Bob Moore's trying to hold off Matt Bonine for that third spot as Chris Mills gets that second spot. But here comes Chris Abelson to call. Around the outside goes Chris Abelson. He's going to take over that third spot as he rips the lip around the high side. Meanwhile, the battle between Matt Bonine and Bob Moore is raging hot and heavy, but that's not going to hold up Chris Abelson at all. As now, Matt Bonine drives away for that third spot. It's Jimmy Cole, Chris Mills, battle for second with Chris Abelson. It's a Chris and Chris show into turn number 1. Chris Mills up high, Chris Abelson down low. They're chasing down your race leader, Jimmy Cole, as they're going to go through turns 3 and 4 this time. Sliding up the track, the doors closing, but Chris Mills slams it back open. Through turns 1 and 2 they go. Chris Mills trying to rip the high side, scraping the wall in turn 2, gets that momentum, and we're going to dive it into turn 3 and 4. Whew, this is a good race for the lead. 3 cars dancing for the race lead is Chris Mills. Chris Abelson knocking on the back door of Jimmy Cole. Cole, you got company, is ripping on the high side of the back straightaway. Turn number 3 they go. Yellow, no. Dylan Ricks slow and causing the caution on that one in turn 4. Nice and easy pace by Jimmy Cole. Through turns 3 and 4 they go. He rolls it up high, hits the gas. We're going green flag racing. Trouble at the back of the pack as everybody stacked her up and Ricky Steffen goes around on the restart. Yellow is out already. Jim Matheson being called for that caution. Did not quite see what happened, but things got a little steppy through turn 4 as they came to the restart. He was the one who was stopped under caution. He'll go to the back along with Jim Matheson, who was the cause of the caution. Through turns 3 and 4 they go. Jim Cole gonna hit the gas. We're going green flag racing off of turn number 4. I don't know if that's the best place to put that cone as everybody seems to want to run it over. But through turns 1 and 2, we're going to have a race for the lead. Down the back straightaway, Chris Smith, trouble in turn 2 as both Matheson and Ricks go around deep in the field. Gotta imagine there might have been some bad blood going on back there. As it was both Matheson. Ricks, I think, went around after the fact, is trying to avoid some stuff. I'll talk with her in Victory Lane to let her inform everybody of where you can find her stuff out as well. As Jimmy Cole is going to lead us down the back straightaway. We're going to be going green flag racing off of turn number 4. Abelson to the inside. Mills on the high side. We're green flag racing off of turn number 4. Your Ricks Customs IMCA Modifieds thunder into turn number 1. Through the inside, here comes Abelson to call. Down to the race lead, but here comes Mills to look to the inside of Abelson. Abelson pitching the high side, and it's going to be a 3-car dance for the lead. New race leaders, Chris Abelson in the 1X as he grabbed the lead from Jimmy Cole. Mills is going to rip the high side, trying to get that momentum going back again on his side. As we come off of turn number 4, this time it's going to be 4 laps to go. Abelson bobbled through 3 and 4. Up on the outside, contact is made. It's 3 cars squeezing down through turns 1 and 2. Ripping the high side once again is Jimmy Cole as he's going to take the spot and he's going to secure the lead once again. Through turns 3 and 4 they go. Jimmy Cole has the race lead. He knows Abelson is there. As they come through turns 1 and 2, Jimmy Cole holding on to the race lead. Abelson trying to mount the charge back on the high side. Mills waiting in the wings. 3 cars battling for the 4th spot. That's going to be Matt Bonine, Bob Moore, and Dylan Ricks rocketing from back in the pack. He's going to be battling up in the 4th spot, making the charge. Meanwhile, up front, 2 laps to go. Bumper tag by Chris Abelson up to Chris Mills. Not happy with him down the back straightaway. Big pitch, sheet in the air. We got 1 lap to go. As they roll through turns 1 and 2, the charge is going to be made. What does Chris Mills have for your race leader, Jimmy Cole? As they roll through turns 3 and 4, ladies and gentlemen, give him a wave and a shout. Double checkers for the 55 of Jimmy Cole. Second goes the 02 junior, Chris Mills, and it's Chris Abelson in 3rd, Matt Bonine, and 5th rounded out by the 45 of Dylan Ricks. Victory Donuts by Jimmy Cole. What a show! Climbing out of the car, give it up, race fans. It's Jimmy Cole, your winner. Oh, the celebration with the family. Jimmy, come over here. Down to the back of the car. Right over here, over here, over here. Got to let the people at here see you and the folks at home. So, Jimmy, we talked a little bit earlier here today. You said, you got to get some cameras on this car. You know, you get some cameras. I'll show everybody the fans. Well, how else do you show it off by coming out to Victory Lane?
This is it right here. Anytime you win against these guys, you're doing good. So, got a lot of good guys here. So.
Yeah, we do. How was the track out here tonight? It looked like you were having a good time.
Yeah, it had 2 grooves, I think. It was pretty good. So.
Well, you certainly found something on the high side.
Yeah, up there, down there's low, but it was all right.
Well, hey, having to drive it around through the field to make your way up to the front. Walk us through a little bit of how it feels to come out here on a night you're presenting along with your daughter. Talk us through that.
Never better. That's all I can say. Just, it's great. So, and thanks for everybody that's helped me out. So.
Well, congratulations once again. Welcome to Victory Lane here tonight. Jimmy Cole, your feature winner in your IMCA Modifieds, brought to you by Rick's Custom.